Hey guys, while I get prepared, welcome. I'm just getting prepared for your questions. I'm doing today's article for NBA. I've had a couple of down nights, which is expected because obviously we can't win everything. So I'm just getting today's article written before I type it up, and I hope it helped you guys last week in football, this week in football. So just getting this out of the way. So while we're waiting, while I'm getting some questions on Twitter, while I'm getting questions here, just kind of want to, if you have any questions, you can email me at fantasysportsguru22@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at fantasyadvice22. You can go to facebook.com/fantasysportsguru22. Really, you can answer questions here, ask questions here. I've got it on Reddit as well. So basically, if this is your first time coming over here, I try to do this every Saturday that I have some free time. What we're going to do now is, obviously, it's NFL Week 10. It's NBA. It's starting to get to the end of Week 2. We've been having some success. We do both FanDuel and DraftKings for NBA. Football, I do DraftKings, FanDuel, and Victiv. So if you guys want to check out that, if you want to check out my sports blog, so if you can't follow along with this or you don't have time, you want to read it later on, fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. And if you're not aware of what we do over there, is I give you free advice. NBA, it's usually about 5 people that's going to be in my lineup. If you want to get an actual FanDuel or DraftKings lineup for NBA, head over to my website at thefantasysportsguru.com. Right side under the ads, we have a subscription service. You hit the drop-down menu and figure out which one you want to do. We do once it comes back, we'll do baseball, football, basketball. And we have daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or all sports package. The all sports package, you actually save about $50, $60, just depends. So check that out at thefantasysportsguru.com. And what we're doing is, hopefully by the end of the weekend, I'm going to launch a brand new website. And it's going to be a lot more integrated. It's going to be a lot more easier to navigate. It's got a WordPress background, just a whole cog inside of that. So it's going to be a lot less work for me, a lot less work for you guys. Right now, it's a subscription service. I get confirmation either the day, the week, whatever the subscription service is. I put it into it's inputted into a spreadsheet, and either if it's football by Thursday afternoon or NBA every afternoon. With MLB also, when that comes back around, you are emailed the daily or the weekly article. But with the new website, all you have to do is you subscribe. You get the subscription service for however long you chose, and then each day you can just go to the website, go to obviously the right category, and they are it's automatically there. You don't have to wait for an email. You don't. Sometimes the emails do get through spam for some reason, and it's in your spam folder, so you got to check that. But basically, it's going to be a lot easier. We're not going to have to email. We're not going to have to do all that stuff. You guys are there. You're ready to go. So, like I said, you can ask questions in here. I thank you for coming over. I see we have 4 viewers at the moment. We just started, so I'll wait a little bit. If you got questions, tweet them to me at fantasyadvice22. Baseball, football. I tried NHL, not gonna happen. I have no idea about hockey, but hopefully with the new website we can get a couple. I'm gonna look around for some writers. If you guys are interested in getting your name out there, getting your Facebook page, your Twitter account, just if you're a sports writer and you want to start out, obviously right now it's going to start out free until the website hits a lot bigger than what it is, and then it could change into getting paid. You guys could get paid to write for the website. So if you do have any questions about wanting to write for the website or anything, email me at fantasysportsguru22@gmail.com. We'll figure that out. Currently, right now, I would like to do DraftKings writers, FanDuel writers, baseball, football, basketball. If you're into college football, that's pretty big. We could look into that. With DraftKings, we've got golf. If you're into PGA and you want to write about that, I've kind of just been throwing a dollar line out there on DraftKings, trying to figure out how the golf works, how you kind of break that down. So if you guys are into the golf, that would be awesome if you guys would email me and want to do some writing. Like I said, obviously it's going to be free at first, but hopefully within the next 6 months, we've got enough subscriptions and subscribers and readers daily that we can turn that into a profit for you guys, so you guys can get paid to write for sports. Now, I know everyone wants to be a writer. Everyone wants to do that. So if you do want to start writing, just send an email to me, fantasysportsguru22@gmail.com, kind of like just an example of your writing. It doesn't have to be much. For anyone who has been following what we do, basically fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com, you can kind of see what I do with basketball, football, baseball. If you scroll down far enough, it'll obviously be back in the end of March. But hopefully by then we have enough writers where you guys will get paid for MLB. So what I'm doing is, like I said, I'm finishing today's NBA article before I type it. If you guys have questions, tweet me. I got my phone ready. I got the computer ready. I'm just ready to go at FantasyAdvice22. So thank you for obviously coming over here, however you found it. I put it on Twitter. It's on YouTube. It's on Reddit. So questions. I've got some questions for football. I've got some top plays that I'm going to be targeting on both FanDuel, DraftKings, and Victiv. If you have not checked out Victiv, they're doing a great promotion, $100 buy-in for a $300,000 prize, which includes money and tickets to the Super Bowl. And there's obviously satellites with that. You can follow my link to get involved with that. We're trying to do big things. I'm not affiliated with Victiv or FanDuel or DraftKings for that matter, but I do give advice for all three of them. Victiv is actually really exciting. I wish FanDuel would get rid of the kicker. No one likes the kicking position. It's pretty much a punt play. But sometimes you hit it big with the kicker, sometimes you don't. So what I'm doing, while you guys, if you want to ask questions here, if you want to tweet me the questions, Facebook the questions, it's facebook.com/fantasysportsguru22. Same thing with YouTube, FantasyAdvice22 on Twitter. So while I'm finishing up these last two things, ask me these questions. I'm going to get to these questions. I've got about 45 minutes. Hopefully, I might be able to push it past before college football starts. I threw a lineup in there. So if you're good at college football and you want to write and you want to try to get your name out there, just your blog, whatever, email me. We'll figure out something. Let you guys get some more exposure. So let me finish this. And we'll start the day. So thank you guys for showing up. Questions. I'm ready to answer your questions on Twitter. Anything. I'm ready to answer anything. So while I'm doing this, ask those questions. Get some more people in here. Let's get a topic going. Let's get involved. So let's figure all this stuff out. Save that. In the chat box over there, if you guys want to ask questions, anything in NFL, NBA, it could be daily, it could be year-long leagues. It's really whatever you guys are looking for. And I write out what I'm going to type first, write it out just so I can remember some stuff. So if you guys are just trying to figure out how I build lineups, how I help you, how I send these out, ask me. If you're not aware, check out fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. You can go over there. You can kind of see the free articles that we have. Obviously, there's links to go over to the subscription service. Check that out. With the subscription service that we have now, the prices are set. With the new website that I'm going to be launching, hopefully today, maybe tomorrow, the prices are going to drop. It's going to be a limited time, so you got to check that out. The subscription service has been it's been growing every week, which is awesome. I know you guys are out there. You're telling your friends, your family, your grandma, your dog. What I have going, if you're not aware, is a refer a friend program. So for every 5 people you refer, I will give you your choice of what package you want. You want the NFL season package, save money on that. The NBA, MLB, once that comes around, you'll be put into the system. Obviously, it won't happen until it starts. But if you are able to refer 20 friends, I will give you the all sports package, and that is $150 value for free. So all you have to do is have them subscribe, have them send me an email with your name or who you are and that you subscribe them. They can do a day, they can do a week, a month, a year, or a full subscription. It doesn't matter. As long as they subscribe and they say you subscribe or you referred them, you will get whatever package you're looking for once you hit that threshold. So again, thanks for showing up. Thanks for everyone who's here. I will check out some questions, see if I got any questions at all on Twitter, anything like that. So while we're waiting, we will play some music while we're waiting, kind of like a little lobby while you're sitting there waiting to answer, get these questions in, get these, anything at all. So what do you guys want to hear? Who do you want to hear? What do you want to hear? We're going to do it. Comment, tweet me what you guys want to hear right now. So that's what we're going to be doing. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for doing everything you guys have done lately. So now I've had some subscribers. They were kind of complaining the other day. I'm sorry about the two-game slate. It's really hard to come up with a good lineup when there's only 2 games to decide for. So we got some questions here. Let's check it out. At Old Michael, I know who you are. We've talked on Twitter. You've emailed me. We've talked on Facebook. Most important question of the day. Is there a reason why you passed on Kelvin Benjamin for 2K on Victiv? Actually, Michael, when I sent that out, I do send them out on Tuesdays or Thursdays. I've kind of been building on different lineups on Victiv and, well, different lineups on all of them. I send you guys, I generally send at least 6 lineups, 2 from FanDuel, 2 from DraftKings, 2 from Victiv. Actually, usually on Saturdays after the whole week. That's why I don't like sending you guys the articles on Thursdays. I know you guys want to play Thursday night. But when I have to send out those lineups, some of them aren't, obviously you still got Friday practice. So with that, with the Friday practice, things happen, stuff happens. Stuff comes out on Saturdays when someone doesn't travel with the team or someone hurt themselves, their game time decision. I build more lineups on Saturdays and I build lineups on Sundays. And I use those. Every week I have about 14 to 15 different lineups. And what I want to do is with the new website, I'll be able to update those lineups and put them on the website. Because emailing multiple lineups to multiple people, figuring out who I sent them to is pretty much a task. So with that, I do have more lineups, and I will be targeting Kelvin Benjamin, and I'll let you know that. I've got a list of players I'm targeting for this week, and let me pull it out right now. This is a list of players I'm going to be building lineups with. Now, I know it's a bunch of people. It's over 50, I think. And we'll discuss it. I'm going to go through this, and we're going to talk about it. This is football. Now, this is NFL football for daily fantasy sports. I do help with the year-long leagues, but this is the players I'm targeting this week, whether or not it's cash games or tournaments. And we'll actually get to that pretty quick. I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna finish this NBA article. While you guys are waiting, I'm gonna type this up, send it out, put it on Sports Blog, and then I will break down this list. Now, this is extensive list that I've gone through. I have done all the research. I've looked through the matchups. I've looked through prior matchups. I've looked through differences, the year, how they're playing, their depth charts. And what I do is I want to help you guys. I don't want you to have to do all the research. What I do is I do the research for you. I know it's a ton of research because that's what I did. I did a ton of research this week. And definitely check that out. I will try to answer that for you. That's with that. And I know I try to get a weekly, daily YouTube video out. Now, I've realized with NFL is going to be the easiest to do because you've got all week till Thursday, and then you've got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. NBA, I do have a full-time job, so hopefully in the future this will be my full-time job. But now, as of now, my full-time job does not allow me to make videos every day for NBA, because by the time I get off work, get home, try to get that video on, it's about generally an hour before tip-off to make a video, to distribute it out, and for you guys to watch it, listen to it, and build a lineup after. It's just impossible. Saturdays would work the best because of the games. That we do have a game at 3:30 today, the Clippers. But I don't, with the research that I'm doing, I don't have any Clippers or anything, because there is one game at 3:30, and that starts on FanDuel, and then the rest are at 7, which would be the easiest to get the article out and get you guys out in the public. So, and then I got a new question at DC United, Dane Coates. NBA, why do you think Washington fell apart last night versus Toronto? Will Wall show up tonight? Now, it's a back-to-back. I know I picked Wall last night, and what did he end up getting? On FanDuel, Wall ended up getting, for his price, today's $9,400. Last night, he got 30 minutes, only 8 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 20.1 fantasy points. That is not hitting his target salary. That is not hitting his value when he is over 9,000. Usually, generally, value on the daily fantasy sites is 5 times what their salary is. So he's at 9,400, be about 47 fantasy points is what he needed to hit. And 2 days ago, 3 days ago now, against Indiana, he went 43 minutes, 31 points, 10 assists, 56.2. He did hit value there. So I have no idea why Washington fell apart as a team. Can they win tonight? I think pretty much anyone can beat the Pacers. Now, I do like John Wall again tonight because they are going against Indiana, who they just faced 3 days ago. This time it's in Indiana, but they have so many injuries. I think Wall could go another 50 fantasy points. But it just really depends on who you guys are targeting for that. And I'll kind of go through who I'm targeting, who I like, who I want to go to, all of that thing, all of it, as much as you want. So if you guys have questions, ask away. I'm not getting any right now. I'm wondering if my settings, for anyone who's watching right now, if you could tweet me at FantasyAdvice22, let me know. Are you guys not able to group chat? What's going on? If you are, just type yes in the chat box for me. I'm trying to figure out why you guys, what's going on. I know the Google Hangout's kind of new. I'd like a different forum, different way to answer questions back and forth. Skype would be kind of easy, but you can't really have video when it's a group. So that's kind of what we're looking for. So, let's see. Other question. Yeah, Michael, with FanDuel, yeah, lineups locked Thursday all week. Unfortunately, on FanDuel, DraftKings, you can do the late swap, so they don't lock. Victiv, they also lock, which I threw a lineup together. I think it was 10 minutes before the Bengals and the Browns game, and I definitely went with the Bengals stack. Thank you, Andy Dalton, for what was it? You had 89 passing yards. Luckily, it was only $1, but that's just kind of sometimes. Who knew the Browns were decent at football, and Andy Dalton would just completely choke at home against the Cleveland Browns? I sure didn't, but I don't think many people thought that. So Okay. I just got an email. Hold on a second. Okay, so other Twitter questions, anything at all at the moment. And I thought I'd have my NBA article written by now. I did say 10 a.m. would be doing YouTube. So I do apologize that I'm trying to write it. I'm trying to get it out before noon. With that, built the lineups. I have the lineups, and then it'll be sent out to the subscribers. For a day, all it is $250 for a day. You get 2 FanDuel lineups and 2 DraftKings lineups. It's really, with the one lineup, you can, with paying just that, you can make that back within one 50-50. And I do have people ask me questions such as, what do you put these in? Do you put these in 50-50? Do you put them in small leagues? What do you do? Usually, any lineup that I do, basically it's for cash games. And so those 50-50, double up, triple up, quintuple up. And sometimes you can build your on FanDuel. I usually throw them in. I build my own like 20-man league, $2, $5, top 50% pay, just to get more people involved. And they're built for more cash games, but we can use I usually throw them in a GPP, a guaranteed prize pool, a tournament, other ones, tourneys, whatever you guys call them. I throw a $1, $2 tournament in, just in case. I don't want to have a huge score on one of my teams and not put it into a tournament. Basketball's been pretty crazy this year so far. With that, basically, it's pretty crazy because I've seen the biggest scores I've ever seen this year in some of the tournaments that I've been doing, which is, it's crazy. I don't know how big the prices change or the scoring changed on the sites, but some of them are pretty ridiculous. But whatever works, really just depends. So just kind of checking out some things, looking for you guys, hopefully helping you out. So if you have questions, ask away. Twitter, ask away here, anything. Trying to help you guys. Help me help you. What do you guys want to see? What are you looking for? Just what do you want? Sorry, I'm working with the cold, so I'm not 100%. But like I said, ask these questions. Let's see. Yeah, Michael, I will be going over. I definitely will have Kelvin Benjamin in my lineups, at least a couple lineups. I like to build lineups there. I'm really working for a ticket to the Super Bowl because that would be just fantastic. I think it's in Super Bowl's in Arizona this year, something like that. Inside, I believe. I think it's in Arizona. I've never been to Arizona other than touching the Four Corners when I went to Vegas out there, and we went to the Four Corners. But definitely, I really want. Well, I mean, obviously everyone wants to go to the Super Bowl, but it would be awesome. So, if you guys have these questions, tweet them out. Ask me questions. Facebook, Twitter, websites, right here, anything at all. I'm going to finish this real quick, so I'm not going to talk until you guys have questions. I'm going to finish this article. I'm going to get that out, and then I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to break down NFL, NBA, whatever question you guys have. So while I'm finishing this one up, we will figure this out. Okay, so what we're doing is 10:30. Okay, and just got another subscriber. Awesome, guys. Love it. Keep them coming. Keep the questions. Keep up. Keep up. Now remember the Refer a Friend program. It's free money. You get such a great deal with what we're working with. So while we're waiting for questions, you can ask it over at Reddit, Fantasy Sports Guru over there on Reddit. I've sent out this video over to fantasy football and fantasy basketball. So keep that up. You can ask questions there. There's really so many platforms you guys can ask questions at. It's there's no reason your question shouldn't get answered. Now, I do have my phone with me. Once this ends, I will still be here. That's not the right thing. Okay. Subscribers, they're rolling in. That's awesome, guys. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, what I'm doing right now while you're waiting, so you guys aren't bored, I'm writing my article, the free article that you guys can check out at fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com, which is a great site. If you guys want to write fantasy sports and you want to try that out, they have a great thing going on over at sportsblog.com. For every view, every unique view you get, you build up, you go to the top of the leaderboards, they give away money. It's money to write, and it's really, you can write about anything sports related. So if you do want to check that out, let me know. I'll give you a link. You can start writing. Like I said, I would like to get some writers for my actual brand new website that I'm trying to launch. It's just, hopefully you'll launch it today, maybe Sunday at the most. I'm hoping by the end of the weekend. And I'm hoping it's all integrated, so you're not waiting for these emails and everything. Kind of give you a little thought process for my article. Tonight's Bulls game, I don't know if Noah's going to be out again. I don't know how long he's going to have the flu, but I think a lot of people are going to be on. Probably a lot. I'm going to say over 60% of the players are probably going to go with Jimmy Butler, as he's been just killing it. But if you're trying to get an edge for like a GPP, I would look towards Mike Dunleavy. I think he scored 33 fantasy points last night, which probably kind of goes under noticed because of how Butler's been playing. Taj Gibson obviously been getting bumped up while Noah's out. But if Noah's back, I think Dunleavy still gets his value, whereas it might go away a little bit from Jimmy Butler, Taj Gibson, anyone like that. So that's kind of my thought process while I'm looking through that. Just kind of going through for basketball. I know most people are probably here for football, but basketball is pretty big too, and build lineups for that as well. So just kind of thought process, GPP play. Jimmy Butler obviously makes a good cash game play, but if you're looking for that edge in tournaments, you got to go with the people that are less owned that you think will have a higher ceiling, so they jump up to the top. Some of these scores I've seen on FanDuel have been like 320, 340. Usually last year it was about 290, 300 would win you a GPP, but just not this year, at least so far, 5 games into the season, however many. By the end of week 2. I correct. I said 33 fantasy points for Dunleavy. He got 36.1 on FanDuel. Not really sure what he got on DraftKings, as I've not looked that up yet, but on FanDuel, 36.1. A little off topic, but anyone who's got Netflix, been watching Weeds. I've got through the 5th season. I'm halfway through the 5th season, and I started it, I think, last Friday, which obviously is not good for anyone who realizes that. Yeah, I've been binging, but Netflix is pretty big. I like to have Netflix in the back while I'm doing my articles, but I don't want to have you guys subjected to listening to something you can't see. So I would definitely check out Weeds. After you check out my website, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, obviously. get these questions, tweet them out to me, ask in here. Let's get this rolling before I jump into the whole list of players that I'm targeting for this week's game, for NFL anyway. So there we go. Soon as I post this, I will get to that list. I'll get to your questions. I'll get to those answers you're looking for. Hopefully you're building a team. Hopefully you've been having just as much success as we have. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but as of, I think it was the start of the NFL season, combined myself plus all the subscribers, we've won over $10,000 combined. I have not won $10,000 myself. Sometimes I don't get to play some of the lineups that I put in. So just so you know, if you're not aware, it's what we kind of look for in the past, 3 months, basically, right around, 2.5 months so far. I have not said so yet. For college football watchers, go Hawkeyes, go Iowa Hawkeyes. Now I've said it. We're good to go. See what kind of pictures I have for my sports blog right now. Do I have D-Wade? D-Wade, D-Wade, D-Wade. I don't, do I? Actually, go with the big man, Marcin Gortat. As long as the picture will upload. There we go. A huge freaking picture. I don't know why that didn't do that. That's so dumb. Tweet those questions out to me. Comments, concerns, anything you want to know, talk about, hear about, see, listen to, anything like that. Now, if you have not played on Victiv, they are, for football anyway, they are, you beat the Victron is what they call it, and it's their computer algorithm. And if you deposit today, and you beat them, you get $5 free for the next 2 weekends, I believe. My lineups that I've suggested for Victiv have actually beat their computer algorithm 2 weeks already. So we're already bringing in money. I mean, I don't know how big of a computer it is, but it's basically free money if you use the lineups that I bring out. Okay. So now that I'm actually going to work on the lineups after, but what you guys are here for? You guys are here for the questions. You guys are here for answers. So these are basically the players that I'm going to be targeting tonight or this weekend for FanDuel, DraftKings, and Victive. So if you do have questions about any of these that I've been talking about, email me. So at tight, well, I'm just going to go with the list. I'm not going to go by the positions because I don't have them by positions. I have them by just looking at the games, each game. What I do is I usually go to ESPN. I go to CBS Sports, Yahoo. I look at all their different things, their projections. Sometimes they hit projections, sometimes they don't. That's for year long. And I kind of take the year long stuff and I look at that to help myself with the daily, or NBA, MLB going to be daily. Obviously, NFL is weekly. But Travis Kelce, Baby Gronk's what they call him. He had I don't want to say he had a monster game last week, but he had a good game last week. And I look for him to save you some money at the tight end position if you don't want to go up for the bigger names, and some salary relief, basically. And these can be used on Victive, these can be used on FanDuel, and these can be used on DraftKings as well. So wide receiver, Sammy Watkins, he's been pretty big lately, the past 2 games. Him and Kyle Orton, who knew Kyle Orton would be a football player? Kyle Orton actually went to school for about an hour, 15 minutes away from me. Just plugging that in. But I'd use Sammy Watkins as the GPP play, wide receiver 2 probably. Not my number 1 target, but for GPP, he's got the big upside. I don't know about cash games. Just depends on what you're building your lineup around. Wide receiver, I think Calvin Johnson's primed to have a big game. I think a lot of people might be off of him, but I think he's going to have a big game. Obviously, it's going to deter Golden Tate's dominance and being the go-to receiver for Stafford and the Lions. But I think Golden Tate also could have a big game, but not as big as Calvin Johnson's primed to be. DeMarco Murray over in London. They're saying Tony Romo is going to be good to go, but he's got 2 broken bones, and they're playing in London, and they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. If the Cowboys can't beat the Jaguars, there's no reason you need to throw out Tony Romo. There's no reason they should go and be a good team this year if they can't beat the Jaguars. So regardless if it's Tony Romo who's hurt, who might not be able to get the torque on some of his throws, or they're going to go with Brandon Weeden, who I like Brandon Weeden. I've been watching him since he was at Oklahoma State. He did good when he came in after Romo got hurt 2 weeks ago, but then last weekend he completely blew it. So I think they're going to have to lean on the run. I know Murray's 100-yard game streak ended last week, but I think he gets back on track. I think they're going to have to rely on the run a lot more. So along with that, I think Dez Bryant's going to play a huge role. Terrence Williams kind of the same way, in the same boat as Golden Tate, but I think Dez Bryant's primed to have another big game. Now, there's a QB that I'm going to talk about. I think if you want to go cheap at QB for a GPP, obviously, he might be a cash game play. It just depends. Mark Sanchez, I can't believe I'm saying his name, but if you put in Sanchez with his price, both on FanDuel, Victive, or on all the sites, you could probably fit in Calvin Johnson, Dez Bryant, and just hopefully they both go off this week, which they both have great matchups. I think on the other side of that for Jacksonville, Denard Robinson, I've been watching him since he was at Michigan. I always talked crap because he was a QB, but he'd never throw it. He'd always run, and then when he did throw it, it was just he was never on with his throws. He was a really bad passer. So I think he's found his calling in a running back, and I think he could have another 100-yard game this week against a bad Dallas defense. I think an under the radar tight end play, very, very cheap tight end play would be Clay Harbor for Jacksonville. I think he could have it. He's primed for a big game with the matchups and how many points Dallas has been giving up to the tight end position. Then I got Colin Kaepernick, GPP only because the way he's been, he's either up or down, he's either on or off. I don't know what the problem is for the 49ers this year, but Kaepernick, GPP only play for me this week. Drew Brees, I think a lot of people are going to be underestimating Drew Brees. He's not had the huge fantasy expectation. He's not hit his expectations coming into the season, I guess I should say. I think he's going to do great at home. I think he's going to be under-owned for both cash. I think he's just going to be completely under-owned this week. He could be a great asset to – his price is a lot less than it was last year just because he's not been doing what he's been doing. Along with that, Jimmy Graham. Is he healthy or not? No one knows 100%. So you kind of got to monitor that. I think Mark Ingram, I think he's got the matchup that people are probably going to be off of because he is facing the defense. But I think he's definitely in game for both cash game GPP. Antonio Brown, biggest upside of any wide receiver in the game. He's so expensive, but he's worth it. I'm definitely going to make a couple lineups, pair him with Roethlisberger. And I know Roethlisberger is probably everyone's number one target just because he has 12 touchdowns in 2 games. And I've regretted it. I have Russell Wilson as my starter in my year-long leagues and Ben Roethlisberger as my bench. And you can guess it, I have not played Roethlisberger the past 2 games because Russell Wilson has had great matchups and he's just blown it. I think Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown, and we can find some value plays in running back, other wide receivers, tight end, defense, kicker for FanDuel, and move it from there. Along with that, GPP only play for me would be Martavius Bryant and Heath Miller. And once I get through this, I'll answer your question, Michael. I'll kind of start that. But Percy Harvin, another GPP only play. They've been utilizing him more than he was utilized in Seattle, whether or not he's got his attitude or whatnot. I think Percy Harvin and Michael Vick are both GPP plays. I think Justin Forsett has a huge game this week on the ground. People might be off of him, but I'm looking to get him in a couple lineups, and he's not that expensive on either site, so we can look that way. Torrey Smith, GPP only. I don't know. There's so many teams with so many wide receivers. It's pretty hard to figure out. I might throw in lineups with stacking, like stack the QB with a couple of their big names on multiple teams. I think I'm going to go with that for Denver because they are playing Oakland and it's Peyton Manning. I know it's so expensive, but if you stack him, past few probably – 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and 5 weeks ago, if you stack Denver with you do Peyton Manning, you do Julius Thomas, you do Demaryius Thomas, they won you a ton of money. And hopefully we're going to work from there, but we'll look for it, just kind of try to figure it out. The stacking pretty much works for GPP, sometimes cash game, but mostly GPP just to go up. I think Julio Jones has a huge game. I know people are saying Matt Ryan on the road's horrible. He demolished the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a few weeks ago, but that was at home. I don't believe in the whole on the road thing just because the matchup's so big and everyone's been beaten up on Tampa Bay. I think I'm definitely targeting Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. And if you don't want to pay up for Julio Jones, Roddy White is pretty much another option for you against a horrible Tampa Bay team. But you have to watch the weather. The weather's going to be playing some parts. I haven't checked it out today, but I know as of yesterday, the weather wasn't looking too good in Tampa. But then I think Bobby Rainey, Atlanta, I think ranks close to the lowest against the running back, and Bobby Rainey it's prime for a big game. I don't think Charles Sims is going to get in the game. He was active last week, and he was just a healthy scratch. I'm looking for Bobby Rainey to get at minimum 20 fantasy points this week. That might be pushing it, but yeah. Like I said, Peyton Manning, Ronnie Hillman, Julius Thomas, Demaryius Thomas, looking for those stacks. If you're looking for a very low-cost guy with could have an upside at tight end, Jared Cook. I know he's let a lot of people down, but you could make a case for him this week as a low option to build a team around other higher QBs, running backs, anything like that. I'm going to be looking to pair Carson Palmer with Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's been kind of coming back, having his, past few years. He's looking like his old self lately. Michael Floyd, I don't know what's up with him. He lost a lot of people a lot of money 2 weeks ago on DraftKings and FanDuel. Last week, he didn't do much of the same. Do you want to go back to him? Another option over there in Arizona could be John Brown. Every time I was looking at the game day, it was John Brown catching a pass, and I didn't know who that was. I wasn't familiar. Now I'm looking more at him, GPP only, than I am Michael Floyd. But if you were to ask me some of these names that I'd be going over this year, especially Mark Sanchez, at the beginning of the year, I'd have called you crazy. I think Marshawn Lynch has another big game, but if he has a big game, Russell Wilson's might not have a big game. So be cautious. I'm hoping a lot of people are on Russell Wilson this week, and I kind of hope he tanks so we can win us a ton of money, hopefully $1 million on FanDuel or DraftKings, but we'll see. Matt Forte, he gets so many passes. He gets as many passes as some wide receivers. So on DraftKings, where it's full point PPR, that's looking great. Matt Forte looks great for us. Brandon Marshall, his price, Brandon Marshall's price, too low, way too low. So definitely look around for him. I know we're looking at the Bears at Green Bay, where Cutler in 3 games playing in Lambeau for the Bears, he has it's like 520 passing yards, 2 TDs, but he has 10 interceptions to go along with that. He's never had success in Lambeau, so people are going to be off him. So if you want a contrarian play, someone who a lot of people will be off of for a GPP, like $1 GPP, you can look for a Bears stack and just hope for the best. With $1, it's just $1, so you can change that dollar into something if they go off. I don't expect the Bears to go off, but if they do, you're ahead of the game that much more. Martellus Bennett also makes a great play, as we saw when the Bears were so low they were down so much against the Patriots. He threw 3 touchdowns, and Martellus Bennett had maybe the catch of the year when he was falling down in the end zone. On the other side of that, I will have an Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb stack. If you don't want to go with Randall Cobb, you could go Devontae Adams. He's pretty cheap. GPP option, obviously, because he's not getting the volume as we'd like in a cash game, but he could be that way. And then GPP, Cam Newton, Kelvin Benjamin, like Michael said, thank you for tweeting that out. He's only 2,000 on Victiv. I haven't looked at that, so let's check that out real quick. Not calling you a liar, but I don't know how I overlooked that on Victiv. But we'll log in, we'll look at that stuff, figure that out. Let me log in Victiv. Now, if you have not checked out Victiv, definitely check that out, because I love the new site. And for players who are kind of restricted to living in one of the states that FanDuel and DraftKings don't allow for some unknown stupid reason, Victiv actually allows most of the states. Their legal process is allowing that, which is awesome, because I don't know why some of them don't. There's some stupid rules. Kelvin Benjamin, holy crap, 2K. Definitely getting Kelvin Benjamin in most of my lineups. 2K salary relief, he is less than some of the defenses. So thank you, Michael. Michael Cord, you've been a part of the subscription service for a long time. I want to give you a shout out. If you want some followers on Twitter, I'll help you out now. Michael Cord is, hold on, at Old Michael Cord. Michael, A-E-L, not E-A-L. So thank you. You've been doing big things. You've been asking questions. I've hopefully answered them, hopefully helped you win money. I'm going to get your name out there. Thank you for following. So please, guys, if you're watching, follow him Twitter at Old Michael Cord. He's been helpful. He pointed me to Kelvin Benjamin. I don't know how I missed Kelvin Benjamin at 2K, but we can definitely do. I love that now. We're gonna afford Peyton Manning. That's awesome. So good to know. Thank you. So let's finish up these NFL questions. On the other side of the Monday Night Football game, LaShawn McCoy, Jeremy Maclin, Mark Sanchez. A lot of people are probably going to be on Maclin. He won me a ton of money. Was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when he first started his hot streak? I plugged him in last minute. Completely went off, won a ton of money, which was awesome. Mark Sanchez kind of came into the picture. I would have had an even bigger week that week had Michael Floyd not got 0 fantasy points. What I like about DraftKings is you can definitely do the late swap. And with the late swap, what you want to do with the flex position is get someone on a Monday night. So which helps out because if you're doing head-to-head 50-50 or something, you can analyze their lineups, see how much money they have put up, how much they have left over, and then you can kind of, with process of elimination, you can kind of see who would be left and who to face. So if you're wanting that edge, if you're up that much, you can change your lineup to that player as well and beat them that way. So that's the good thing about late swap. Also with injuries, you want to always probably put a game time decision player with enough salary on either side on your flex spot. So once you figure out if they're starting or not, plug them in. So good thing is I just got DirecTV, so I got all this football packages. So I'm going to run over there. I'm going to run to the bathroom, turn the football game on, and come right back and answer any more of your questions. I've gone through the list of my NFL players. I haven't got many NBA questions. It's not as popular with my plays. I double the plays for football, but definitely going to check that out. So while I go turn that on, tweet me those questions. Ask me anything you guys want. I'll be right back. So. All right. So I'm not having any questions. All right. So if no more questions, thank you guys. This lasted over an hour, which is awesome. I don't usually get to do that. So if you want to follow me on Twitter at Fantasy Advice 22, ask me questions all day. NBA, NFL. And thank you. Defensive pass interference against Minnesota. Go Hawks. We should be within like the 5-yard line. So at Fantasy Advice 22. Ask me those questions. Facebook.com/Fantasy Sports Guru 22. My sports blog where I give free advice. I break down my lineup with 5 players. Obviously, if you over at fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. If you want to subscribe after reading that, head over to thefantasysportsguru.com. Right side under the ads, there's a scroll down menu. Different options for football, baseball, basketball, or all sports. Which is the best, but I'm aware if you want to test it out. Hopefully by the end of the weekend, I will be doing launching my new website, which will make everything a lot easier, like I said before. Ask me those questions. Facebook.com/FantasySportsGuru22, Twitter at FantasyAdvice22, YouTube, obviously if you're watching this, YouTube.com/FantasySportsGuru22. Anything you guys have, I hopefully will be able to answer for you. So hopefully I helped you out for NFL Week 10, NBA 11-8, which is today, Saturday. So thank you for subscribing. Please like this. Tell your friends about it. The Refer a Friend program is amazing. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Enjoy. Good luck this weekend. Hopefully you're joining that $1 million league. Have a good one. Bring home that bacon.